Welcome to episode 555 of the show. Before I begin, I'd like to apologize because this is another detour, so we're not going to be continuing with the series on customer retention, customer satisfaction, and customer success. I'm making another detour today to answer a question that came up on WhatsApp, and that is, should you ask your family members to subscribe to your YouTube channel? Now, why do people do that? That's asking family members and friends to subscribe to their YouTube channel, and that's because they're hoping to achieve a number of things. Primary among them are audience growth. You're hoping that if your mom, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, your village people, that if all of them subscribe, then you're going to get channel growth. They're also hoping that they're going to get viewer growth, because the more people that you have there, in theory, the more viewers you should get for the content that you put out on your YouTube. And of course, that leads to channel growth. And finally, they're also hoping that there's going to be engagement growth, because the more people that you have on the channel and the more views you get, then the more engagement you're going to get. People liking, commenting, sharing, asking questions, those sorts of things. And of course, all three of them ultimately add up to channel growth. But does asking your family members to subscribe to your YouTube channel, does that indeed deliver on the promise? Now, this is what actually happens. Yes, if you get your uncles, your aunties, or your cousins, especially if you're from a large family, your school classmates, colleagues at work, if you get them all to subscribe to your YouTube channel, yes, you're going to get audience growth because you're going to have subscription growth. So maybe in the early days, you only have 32 subscribers. And if you harass everyone enough on WhatsApp or at the office or next time you're at the family meeting, you might go from 32 subscribers to maybe 200 or 300. And yes, you will achieve audience growth. But what about viewership? Is the viewership of the content going to actually grow? Now, my argument is that you might actually experience a regression, because family members are going to drop off if they aren't your target audience. So, for instance, with the material that I put out over here on the podcast or on YouTube, if I ask my mom, my brother, my sister, my wife, my cousins, my classmates, my people at church, if I ask everybody to hop on my channel, subscribe to my podcast, to my YouTube and all that, if they are not interested in these sorts of things, sales, business development, personal development, personal sales, personal selling, marketing tactics, things like that, then I'm going to have a whole bunch of people on my channels, but none of them actually watching. So my channel is actually going to look worse off, because let's say in the old days, before I invited everybody to join, I only had 30 subscribers, but of those 30 subscribers, 25 were watching religiously. Now, think about how things are going to look now that we have 300 people, 400 people, because I've harassed everyone to join, but I still have only 25 people watching religiously. It doesn't give a very good picture of how healthy or how relevant that my channel is. So the viewership in terms of percentage is actually going to go way down when you ask your family members to subscribe to your YouTube channel. And of course, the engagement is also going to plummet, because like in the example that I gave, 25 people out of 40 watching videos, that's high engagement rate. That's if out of the 25 who watch, let's say 18 like, comment, and share. That is high engagement. Rather than having 400 people, but then out of that 400, only 25 people are watching and only 18 are engaging. The engagement in terms of percentages is going to drop really, really low. Now, in this scenario, excuse me, instead of achieving channel growth, what you actually have is channel stagnation, maybe even regression. Depending how bad the situation is. So what should you actually do? What you should do, instead of asking family members themselves to subscribe to your YouTube channel, you should ask your family members to share your material to your target audience or the people who are interested. So next time you're at that family meeting, don't tell your cousin, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your cousin, hey cuz, what's up? How you doing? How are the kids? Oh, by the way, I've started this thing. I have a YouTube channel now where I make videos about how to make suya. Do you know people who like to cook in your office? I beg, share this link with them. That's the way to go about it. So your cousin, even though he doesn't care anything about food or suya, Next time he's at the office and people are talking about food and things like that, your cousin might say, "Hey, guy, you be foodie, Abby? My cousin has started this channel. I mean, have a look. Let me know what you think." He's there talking about suya and roasted chicken and things like that. I don't understand, but should I check it out? It might be your thing. And who knows, if enough of your cousins, your mom, your dad, your spouse, your siblings, your classmates, if enough of them do this, pushing out your stuff to people who might be interested, you might not get as many people to join because your family members, your classmates, these people, they care about you. They're vested in your success, and because of that, they'll join. But if you can get them to harass other people, you're not going to get loads of people to join. But at least the people who do join will be a much more qualitative, it'll be a much more quality audience because at least they are closer to being interested in the kind of stuff that you're talking about, that you're sharing about, that you're posting about. So now the results that you're going to get, if you ask your family members and your friends, instead of subscribing themselves, to share to your target audience or the people who are interested, you find that you're going to get relevant audience growth. But like I said, it's not going to be huge. I come from a big family. We're on several WhatsApp groups. We have about 200, 300 people on some of these groups. If I put out a message saying, "Hey, what's up? You guys, help support your boy," I can expect that if I put out that message on the group where we have 300 people, I can expect that 100 people or 120 will subscribe. But are the 120 who do subscribe, are they the kind of people that I'm looking for? Are they my target audience? Are they the kind of people who would buy from me? Are they actually interested in the kind of things that I put out? Those are the things you should be looking at. But instead, if I put out a blast like that, saying, you guys support your boy, if you know anybody at the office, in church, any of your friends who's interested in these sorts of issues, I beg, share the link with them, help a brother out. They might do that, and maybe out of 2 or 3 blasts to your family groups, maybe you only get 5 or 6 people who join. Yeah, I know that seems like it's small, but you can count on the quality of that audience being high, that if you're a foodie and you're making videos about how to make suya and pepper chicken and stuff like that, you can count that whoever it is that your cousin send those links to will actually be people who are interested in those sorts of things. And it's a much more organically viable way for your channel to grow, or whatever content that you're trying to promote. So if you do it this way, you're going to get relevant audience growth. And of course, you're also going to get relevant viewers growth. And you're also going to get more robust engagement if your content is good. And then ultimately, the algorithm is going to see that even though only 4 people have followed in the last month or the last 2 months, the 4 people that have followed, they seem to think this content is good, is worth watching, and is worth sharing. And then the algorithm on YouTube is going to share your stuff to more people, a similar audience. And that is kind of like the principle that works on other social media sites as well, especially like discovery-based platforms like TikTok right now and Instagram Reels. I mean, those are all about discovery. That's taking your stuff and putting it out to new people to discover who are interested in those sorts of things. So this is what you should actually be doing when next you're trying to harass family members to support your hustle. Don't ask your family members, your cousins, your mom, your dad, your ex-girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, what else? Parents at the PTA in school, church members of the choir. Don't harass all those people to subscribe to your YouTube channel. Talk to them. And if they know anyone who is interested in the sorts of things that you write about, that you post about, that you blog about, that you make videos about, get them to share those links with people instead. You're not going to have the massive growth in your channel that you'd hoped, but I bet you that the people who do subscribe are going to be much more valuable because they're going to help the value of your channel grow up, because you're going to look like you have real relevant content for people who are interested in those sorts of things. And who knows, they might actually be the kind of people who might turn out to be customers at the end of the day. Because if I'm making YouTube videos about suya, pepper chicken, those sorts of things, but my cousin is a beerhead and he doesn't give a hoot about those sorts of things. I mean, for him, it's all about the alcohol. Then it doesn't matter how many of my cousins I get to subscribe or their friends to subscribe. If they're all beer heads and they're not foodies, the, those that kind of content is not for them, and they're going to attract people that will never be customers at the end of the day for the stuff that I put out. But then, if I get my cousin to share with a couple of foodies, and they're there, and those foodies share with other foodies, who knows? There might be people who not just subscribe to my videos, but also pay for cooking classes, or pay for recipes, or pay to come and eat at my restaurant, or whatever. So that's it. That's how you ought to grow your YouTube channel, or whatever content feeding strategy that you have out there. So don't harass your family members to subscribe. Get them to send the link to other people who might be interested. So thanks for listening to episode 555. Remember that you guys can ask me anything if you reach out. And just like with today's episode, that could be an episode for a future, it could be a future topic. Yeah, it could be a future topic for a podcast episode. So thanks for listening. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.